Come on, there we go. What the heck's going on here? Welcome there. Sorry, I had a few little, I had a little bit of trouble getting going, but I got her now, it looks like. This is the After John's program. I will probably, like I said before, I'm way behind on this model, so I'll probably work on it into the morning because I only have 2 days. I took a little nap. I haven't eaten yet, but I took a little nap and I watched the Birdman Alcatraz with Carl Mal. I mean, it's an old movie from the 50s, one that I watched when I was a kid. And I had to watch it all the way through. Anyway, I see we have one watcher, and that's good. Let's get to the work I'm about to do. Now today you saw that. Okay, let's recap the whole thing. A few days ago, you saw me dig the trench. I cut the canopy and I dug the trench for the canopy to sit in. And then a few nights ago, I drilled the holes in the canopy for the glue to hold the canopy on. Well, today I epoxied that canopy on, and now we're going to mold this canopy in so that it looks like one piece of the airplane. And in order to do that, we have to tape it off. So there was a question on my private message on Stunt Hanger. What is the name of this tape that I use? It's called 3M Blue Fine Line. You can find it on Amazon. I don't know what the part number is. I don't have a new container. Anyway, what we're going to do here is just below, because we don't want to get any superfill showing through the canopy, just below that line, I want to tape off around the canopy. Where we're going to sand and paint, and it's going to have superfill on it. And you don't want to go above that line because then you'll see the superfill. So you want to go below the line so that the superfill is hidden. And I'll try to explain with a close-up here. You see this line where the white is. Well, we're going to paint above it, but we don't want any superfill above it. So you're going to want to put that tape right on top, split that line. So that when we put the superfill on, it won't show through that white. It's pretty simple. And here again, at this particular point, it doesn't matter if it's perfect because it's not a paint line. It's just a sanding and superfill line so that the superfill doesn't show through the canopy. Because we can put the paint line anywhere we want because it's white. But I'm blocking that superfill from showing through. I can't believe it. I only have one watcher so far. Normally I have many. but I am getting a late start. So let's see here. What can I do? I got that tail doesn't want to lay down, so we'll get a knife, cut that tail off. I need to get out a new blade. One thing to keep you on your toes is always use new blades. I mean, dull razor blades are only an aggravation. So I have my new package that was sent to me by my friend down under. I'm gonna open this up. I'll get a new blade out. Now for these tape jobs, I like using the scalpels better than the X-Acto knife. X-Acto knives are great for wood that's hard, thick, 1/8, 16th, etc. Hey, we got another handle in here too. All right, we're good to go. We got another handle. So let's open this up. Tear to open. These are a real bargain. I think it's about $6 for 100 blades, plus you get the handle. What the heck's going on here? Looks like they've double sealed these things. So you need to do an operation on yourself. These are sterile already. Let me okay, here we go. Said number 11 on there. I hope they're number 11s. Yep. I need to cut this tail off here. Hey, thanks for the likes. If you got a question, just go ahead and ask in the chat. Okay, I got that tail off there. That's good. We have to make 2 lines around this canopy, one on the top and one on the paint, and I'll show you why here in a second. Now, some guys like John, he does it different than I do, and that's okay. There's more than one way to skin a cat. If you have a better way to do this, hey, tell me about it. I'd like to know. But I've been doing it this way probably 30 years or better. I mean, I used to do it a different way, but back in the 90s, I come up with this, and this way seems to work the best for me. And anybody that has seen my airplanes in person will know that all the canopies always look like they're part of the airplane. I think when we paint, we'll come back on this flat. Don't worry about you know how perfect it is, and same with this line that we're going to do right underneath it. Got about a 1/2 inch. We're going to go around this. Now, there's only one problem that I have tonight. I don't have any alcohol. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking, why I'm not picking this stuff up. I mean, it's just so non-important to me that but I need to make haste. I gotta get on the ball if I'm gonna fly this one. We did get the motor situation hammered out, so that was good. And of course, I got plenty of engines. I got 5 or 6 Super Tigers here, but we got it fixed. Don't know exactly what it was. Don't really care as long as it's fixed. Could have been the glow plug, could have been the spray bar, could have been the fuel, could have been whatever, but we got her to run. That's all that counts. Let's see, I got a little epoxy there. I need to come down a little lower. Get that sanded off. Yeah. Oh, the super fill's out in the car. I gotta go out in the car to get the super fill. So basically what I'm setting up to do here is to put a fillet around this canopy and get it molded in. Okay. Now this canopy will remain taped off for the rest of the project. Well, that's not true either. I'll tape it off this once. I'll shoot the primer on it, or you know, get the superfill on it, get this primed, sanded, molded in, and then the tape will come off, and the tape line will be moved, and the final line on here will have to be precise. Where this didn't have to be precise, the final line will need to be precise. Here's another bit of advice. On these compound turns, curves, or whatever, cut the tape. Don't try to bend the tape around, because guaranteed overspray will suck up in there and you'll be crying. And if you're painting red, you better make sure that the tape is 100% laying down. 100%. So we'll go around this way. It's the same with papering. When you paper your airplane, don't leave any folds. What happens with those folds, it collects the dust. And that dust will find its way into the paint job. And there again, you'll be crying. So how did I do that? Now another bit of experience on this tape. Don't leave this tape on for a week. You won't get it off. It leaves the glue deposits behind, and that'll make you cry. Now you saw me pick up the airplane by the pilot. I would not pick the airplane up by the canopy. And if somebody's trying to pick the airplane up by the canopy, knock them over. And believe it or not, I have seen experts helping other experts. Haven't done it to me, but I have seen people pick airplanes up by the canopy. Dumb. Or by the rudder, because they're too lazy to bend over. If you pick it up by the rudder, you're surely going to scratch the underside of the cowl after you work so hard. To get all the scratches out. And those guys from Bad Chat, if you're watching, when I told you that I was a sander, you know, Chad does his cars in a couple of hours or whatever. These sanding on these airplanes take hundreds of hours, hundreds, because I don't have the luxury of primer. You know, very minimal. I only use a primer on the superfill because dope doesn't want to really stick to it without some type of primer. Okay, well, we got the basics there. That was truly, you know, important in the days of epoxylite. If any of you guys used epoxylite, you know that you had to prime it. First off, it was like rock, so it didn't sand and smooth very well. You had to be on top of it. I mean, I wouldn't even attempt this. I'm going to look for some alcohol. I don't believe I have any, but I'll look for it again. I would not even attempt this if I was using epoxylite without having alcohol on hand. I wonder if I got paper out in the car. I don't even know if I got any paper out in the car. Shoot. We were talking at John's, you know, I dropped off almost $300 worth of paint today. And he, you know, he can use it, whatever. I don't care. So, well, I'll leave the phone bag there. Phone bag there. Well, I got 2 airplanes over his house. I got my 3-axis CNC machine over his house. I probably got $1,000 worth of paint. So he said, "You're not moving in." No, I don't want to move in. It's just that he allows me to use his shop, and that's a blessing. Because I couldn't. I mean, I could get her done. I could take this to work and paint it or whatever during my lunch hour or something like that. But it would take forever to get anything done. That's just a reflection. That's good. Okay, canopy's taped off. Now you wonder, what is that bottom line for? Well, that's the sand line. We have to protect that because I don't want to dig too deep into the wood around it. I wouldn't lead you astray. Just like I told you about doing these gussets here, how to get them to look like they're one piece. You can't do it until after the nose is fiberglassed or you'll dig a hole. Well, this is basically what we're doing here. We're going to dig a hole to fill, to backfill. Sometimes this takes 2-3 coats of superfill, to get rid. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. This process will not be a one-shot process. I can 100% guarantee you that. I'll put the superfill on. I'll spread it out. I'll sand it off. I'll seal low. I'll have to put some more superfill on it. It depends on the amount of effort that I put into an airplane is how much its desire. It's what do I want it to look like? Is that good enough? A paint job is never finished. It's only abandoned. Same with the bodywork. Are you satisfied? I could spend another few hundred hours sanding, But where do you call it quits? I know for a fact that I have some spots on this that need to be sanded. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the one coat of white that this thing gets. And I'll spot those areas that need repair them, spot those in, paint the trim, and clear it. I'm not going to do a second coat over the whole thing. It's only one coat, 1/2 pint. That's all you get. 1/2 pint and a little touch-up. And John, if you're listening, if you're going to paint your airplane white before I get this one painted, paint out of the new can, because the old can batch number will match what I've got. I forgot to tell them. White is not white. White comes in degrees, shades, and hues of white, just like black. If you go to the PPG chart, you got 9500, 9400, 9600, 9700. Now 9700 is the jet black. But each one of those blacks have a different hue. How much red is in it? How much green is in it? How much blue is in it? And trust me, if you have a black car, if you have a car painted with 9500 and you spray 9700 on it, black, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. Well, that's the same with this white. This is insignia white. It's the whitest of the white. They got Dana cream. They got, I don't know, they got several different whites or whatever, but I use insignia white. So you figure, okay, great. I got 2 gallons of insignia white. That'd be great, except they were mixed at different times. how paint is done is on the scale. You take a scale, you put in the pigments that it calls for, so many drops, and you bring it up. Then you put in the vehicle, and then you put in the binder. And if any one of those vehicles, binders, or pigments is off by 1 drop is all it takes. It changes the shade of paint. So from can to can, if you're going to buy 5 gallons of white, I doubt anybody's going to do that, but 2 gallons of white, whatever. Mix them together and then pour them back into separate cans. Or if you mix them together, you got this one and this one, you got half and half, or even if you got a quart and just mix it all together, then it'll all be the same color. Is the chat box working? Please post something, because I haven't seen a chatter. I don't know whether I got the darn thing on or what. Okay, there is a ridge right here where that canopy, where the glue has, it's working. Okay, great. Where the glue and the side of the fuselage mate, you can feel that bump. So it's okay, great. Thank you, Mike. So now we're going to take some 180 and sand that up. You could use a coarser grit, but the coarser grits are used for shaping. The finer grits are used for finishing, smoothing. So this does a couple of things. Roughens the canopy up where it needs to be roughened. Smooths out that line and gives the superfill some tooth. And when you first put this superfill on, it'll look like a disaster. Terry, looking good. Thank you. This thing came so close to getting a wood canopy, you can't believe it. You can feel that line. I don't like it. This line here is not such a big deal because it's going to be a fillet, finger fillet. But I do need some tooth on it. Oh, no problem. Have you seen the whole canopy install? Have you seen my airplanes in person, first off? Because they look much better in person than they do on the web. Kind of like my Tucker. It looks much better in person than it does on the internet. Okay, all right, Terry. You saw my crossfire. That would be the red one with the black and white checkerboards on the leading edge. Or it could have been the gray one. Man, I built so many damn airplanes. Now, we're not worried about sanding that line off, that canopy line, because it's on the inside. So we're just roughing it up, get the superfill, get some tooth, and get rid of that epoxy line that I put on, dug in. What's going to happen here, and it happens every time I do this, I put this, oh, it looks so great. You pull the tape, ah, what a mess. You got to work on it for a couple of days. That's just the nature of the beast. Nothing easy about stunt ship building. And after this is all molded in, even the canopy gets sanded. Gets sanded till it's frosty. And then when the clear goes on and you buff it, it clears right up. Kind of like buffing a headlight. Hope I can find some alcohol. I'm gonna look up there in the closet. See, I'm sanding the plastic now. There's a slight edge that you can feel. You can put your fingernail on it, you can feel it. You can hear it even. I'm sanding that edge off so that when I apply the superfill and I sand it down thin, it doesn't come back through the superfill. Feels pretty good. You know what I said I wasn't going to take the tape off, but I am going to take the tape off of this tonight. I don't want it on there. I'll super fill it and take the tape off and retape it when I'm ready to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. It all varies from job to job. Depends how it comes out. Okay. But I definitely wanted to get this super filled tonight so that tomorrow, when I get back from laundry, I'll try to get up and do the laundry early. When I get back from laundry, I can sand. You know, I love sanding. Let me move this over here. I'm going to look in the closet one more time. Well, maybe it's, I got some in this box here. No, but I got lots of lines. I got lots of lines. I need to sell them. I'm not going to use them. Okay, let's look up here in this box. I think I've already been through this once, so. No alcohol in there. What the hell? Got every other chemical. Hey, I even got some more buffer pads. Cool. Cool. All right, and I'll put them in my buffer box. I got stuff I don't even know I got. Huh. Here's a 1/4-inch rudder. Found a rudder in the closet, laying on top of the clothes. Okay. 4 more pads. Let me look, where the hell would I have put it? Put that over there. Hydrogen peroxide, I wonder if that would work. No alcohol down there. Any under the sink here, maybe? Nope, none under the sink. God darn it. I am bumming out. I know I don't have any in the car. Wait a minute, I do have some in the car. I gotta go get the super fill anyway. I got some alcohol in my flight box in a small bottle, and I think that will be enough to do the job. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. Just step out to the car. No, I don't use microballoons with super fill. Give me 1 second. Car is about 10 feet away from the door. Okay. I'm back. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm blending the fuselage canopy. Okay, got this box here. Got stupid fill in it. Got some dope. Got my motor. But most importantly, I found a small bottle of alcohol that I can do this job with. And oh man, there ain't much in there. It's my line alcohol. I only have about a ½ inch in the bottom of this bottle. There ain't much in there. But we'll get the job done. So I think what I'm going to do for this job is I'm going to use this spatula if I can find it. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find it, so we're going to use the finger lock. I've been using my fingers all my life. I just picked up this spatula trick from John, and it really don't work all that great for me, but I try. Okay, so we got this. Let's get some super fill out. We use the new stuff. No, I'll use the old stuff. Okay, 2-to-1 on the superfill mix. Oh man, sure wish I had more alcohol. Alcohol makes it so much easier. I don't even have any plastic spoons to use to do this. So what am I going to use? I do have a plastic fork. This one's contaminated. Damn. Okay. Yum, dinner. Not going to take a whole lot, so. And I'm mixing up this much. That'll probably be way more than I need. But you never know. Better get another spoonful just in case. Another forkful. Yeah, I know that's 100 times too much. But I'd rather have too much than not enough, because I don't want to stop in the middle of mixing or molding. Get the paper towels handy. Okay, a little bit of this. Remember, this is not an exact science yet. This is way more than I need, but that's okay. Even at $35 a pop, it's okay. It's worth it. It's not a, you don't have to do it by weight. Just do it by eye. Get it close, whatever. The more hardener you put in it, the faster it's going to kick off. So you got to work faster. Well, you can't stir shit with a fork, plastic fork. Use the back half. I'll tell you, why don't I use micro balloons in this? The same reason I don't put oil additives in my car. If it was meant to be there, it'd be there. I ate my lunch on my stomach today. Happens when I have light clothes on. That's why I mostly wear black shirts. Too much of a slob. Makes a nice creamy compound. I don't know what this, resin hardener is MEK. Bondo is MEK, the hardener. This stuff smells like cat pee, like it's ammonia. So you're looking for a pleasant smelling compound. This ain't it. It ain't bad, but it ain't it. Okay. I don't have the spatula, so I'm going to use the finger method. Like making a cake. Here's another pro tip. When you go to smooth this out with alcohol, you can't do it right away. You have to wait till it starts to set up. Otherwise, you're just dragging it. I think alcohol may work for Bondo too. Never tried it, but it might. Remember, I told you I try a lot of experiments. Okay. Yeah, that's super pill. No, I don't want to use a popsicle stick. Don't have any control on it. I got popsicle sticks, but don't have any control. So now, I'll just come back and smooth this out. I think it's going to take a second coat there, but I'm not going to play with it right now. Shit, I am the Picasso. This is just like when you were a kid playing with finger paint. You know, I have those Jim Lee ball bearing tools to do fillets, and this I still find that my fingers about 100% easier. A little thin right there. I need a little more material. So I don't know how long it's going to take to start to tack up, but once it tacks up, I'll bring the alcohol on my finger and smooth it completely out. But we're going to take the tape off on the outside now. And just before I take, use the alcohol, I'll take the blue fine line off so I can smooth that completely down. So there's not much sanding. I mean, not really. Anything you can do to cut out the sand time is pretty helpful. You know, you figure you got at least 100 hours of sanding. And I think it's more than that. Building the airplanes, oh, I'm pulling up that blue line tape. Building the airplane is no big deal. I can whip one together in no time. 40 hours. It's the finishings, the sanding, it's all the prep work that gets you. And doing this stuff is kind of like concrete. Once you're doing it, you're committed. You got to stick with it till it's finished. Yeah, I could put this on here, let it dry as is, and then come back and sand it. But boy, what a pain in the rear that'd be. So the trick is to Let's see if it's ready to pull this off. Not quite. We'll give it a few minutes because I want to leave that, I don't want the superfill to run out. Looks like it could use a little more right there too. Yeah, it's starting to set. I must have mixed it pretty hot. Usually got about an hour's working time. It's already cheesing up, which is okay. Let's see, how long have I been on? Been on an hour, so I guess it's on time. Sure doesn't seem like it when you're having fun. That's a little low, right? It don't matter. It all gets sanded anyway. I'll wait another 5 minutes and then start smoothing it with the alcohol. It's a little fresh still. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's ready. No. I'm just aggravating it. This must be 91 proof. Takes the primer right off. But that's okay. All I'm doing here is trying to make the sand job go a little easier. Oh. Yep, she's kicking off now. Good thing I got after this real quick. Good thing I remembered that I had alcohol in my box. That I had to sand all this. And I'm betting it's going to take another coat to get it perfect. But that'll come tomorrow after the first sand out. Let's take the tape off the canopy. See what kind of line we got. It's going to be horrendous. I'll have to retape it again tomorrow. Oh. And alcohol ate right through the paint. That's okay. I guess I could have used thinner to smooth that out with. And I can't see any superfill on the inside. We're in good shape. Good shape. Perfect. Let's look inside there. And I don't know whether I can show this or not, but look down inside the canopy. You can't see the superfill from the other side. That's because of the white paint on the inside. That really attacked that paint big time. Huh. That's how thin that white was on. That alcohol just kind of smoked it up. I'm not good. I just got lots of practice. I'll have to sand that out. I should have known better than to aggravate it. Not a big deal. We'll just feather it in. It's all going to get primed anyway there, so that'll cover. Got to sand it all back off anyway. Put it on, sand it off. Okay, let's pull this line off. I think it's about ready. If not, it will be. Yeah, it's perfect. It's in the right spot. Okay, guys, stay tuned for part 50 on canopy install. We gotta let this dry overnight. I'll retape this off to the line that it's supposed to be, not the line that is. And I'll come back and I'll sand this. We're not going to tape this off again, you know, the fuselage, just the canopy. There'll be no more tape on the fuselage sides because we're trying to blend that line into the canopy. So no more tape on this, but we'll tape the canopy off on the line that I'm going to paint. I'm going to come back in with 320 and feather all that in around the canopy. Thank you, Fred. Feather all that in around the canopy with 320, and then I'll prime this area and see how disastrous it looks, and it will, without a doubt, look disastrous. It takes about 2 or 3 prime coats to get it to blend perfect, because you want that line to look like the fillet. See, this fillet looks like it's, this airplane looks like it's all one piece, and the only way you could do that is sand. I mean, I haven't figured any other way. The pilot has twice as much hair as I do. I haven't figured out how to do it any other way than get behind a piece of sandpaper and start sanding. And it might take you 200 hours to get it right. Whatever it takes is what it takes, you know. This line here, this dark line here, is the carbon fiber line. No problem. Just a light dust of gray to hide that and blend that. And then when I shoot this one coat of white, everything will be all one color. It'll all be white. And then the outside will match the inside. It'll look like it's part of the airplane because it's molded in. When you're doing your airplanes, make sure you use that 64th ply on the lines here. It makes a real nice clean break. And I always try to incorporate this line as an ink line. You know, airplanes have panels on them. The only problem is real airplanes don't have panel lines that run like that. They're usually horizontal to the dado, you know, parallel to the dado line. They're not like this. And real airplanes do not have any straight corners in them. They're always rounded, and that's for stress riser. But hey, this is not a real airplane. It's just a standoff and stand way off semi scale lawn dart. You know, it's a rendition of a piece of art. It looks like it came from the 50s. You know, it's got the big tire look. I wish I could have put the banana wheel pants on it, but I just didn't want to give up the weight, you know. If I put something scale interpretation, if I scaled up the original Continental's wheel pants, they'd be 10 inches long. And they'd stick way out here. This airplane was designed in '69 for a low stance. Tom used a 9.6 Tornado 3-blade propeller, and it sat way down in the grass. And the remarks, you know, I never thought about that until recently. The remarks from Tom was, this thing flies like a lowered 49 Mercury. And the reason why it flew like a lowered 49 Mercury is, if you remember my Monado XL, you look back in the channel, the red one I did the gold leaf on, I also cut off the elevators and doubled the width of them. It flew like a lowered 49 Merc because it was flying off the flaps and not the elevators. So, of course, my rendition, I'm going to call this Continental 2. It's not the XL, it's a Continental 2. It's a larger Continental. My rendition is the modern percentages, where, of course, I don't have the modern percentages as far as flaps go. I'm using way less flaps than everybody else does because my airplanes are so much lighter. If you have a heavier airplane, you need more flaps. Well, part of my thing is I don't want all that weight, so we're going to cut the span of the flap down. I don't need it for wing area because I got over 700 squares. So I don't need 4-inch flaps to make up for the 10-inch cord. This is 11.5-inch cord. So my root tip is as wide as an SV wing. You know, the root, or the tip rib, is as wide as the root rib on an SV. I think that's what I got, 10.25 at the tip. Hey, look here. Get out this Chinese measuring stick. Shit, this is you can't even read this thing. It's Chinese. What the hell happened to the all the good rulers? Here we go. We have you wouldn't believe it. I'm going to put this ruler up here just for you guys to read, because I can hardly believe what I've done here. Now, I'm not including the winglet. I'm just including, you know, we'll go to the trailing edge to the leading edge and not including the tip. Yeah, we're about 9 5/8. If you include that tip, we're 10 and something, but 9 5/8 at the tip, and 11 3/4 at the root. So it's quite a bit of wing. It's a big mama. But I really feel that the low aspect ratio, so that's the wide root cord and wide tip cord and short wingspan, is better for me than the high aspect ratio, where we have a 10.25-inch cord and a 62-inch wingspan. Because what happens is, when you get out in the wind, the wind gets underneath the tip and buffets them around, and they're up and down and going like that. And this tends to penetrate the wind better. Now, this wing is a modified USA 1 wing. It's a 1/4 inch thicker. So it's an 1/8 inch on each side, thicker airfoil. So I took the USA 1 airfoil and made it thicker. I think it's 2 1/4 thick at the root now, and I'm not sure what it is at the tip. I don't have, I guess I could use my dividers. Yeah, we got these. Let's measure this at the tip, see what it is. I'm gonna have to really span it out here. Whoa. Don't want to poke my tissue. Okay, thickness of the wing at the tip. Ah, damn, can't even move around in here. There's no room. 2 inches. And it's 2 1/4 at the root. You know, I get asked all the time, are there plans for it? No. There aren't plans for anything I build. I don't draw plans. I don't work off plans. Back when I was messing with Ron O'Toole, we just draw little pictures on napkins and go, there you go. There's your plans. And just put it together and that's it. You know, it's not rocket science. It's pretty simple. Yeah, well, I'll bet I'm building this airplane in a motel room. And so what I want you to do is go build your airplane in the bathroom. That's exactly what I got here. I mean, some walk-in closets are bigger than this. This is 12 by 14, the whole place. 12 foot by 14. So I got no room. But I got lots of room in St. Louis. I got lots of room over at John's. There's plenty of room outside. We'll get her done somehow. Let's see, is this set up yet? No, but it's getting there. Well, I think I'm going to call it an evening. I wanted to show you the superfill on the canopy. I will be back tomorrow for the sand out and the first primer coat, and we'll see what it looks like. Should be fine. You know, it should do okay. I do not see any superfill from the inside of the canopy, so I'm happy about that. I was a little concerned because what time? I'd say around, if I get up early and do laundry, 10, probably around noon, I guess. I'll try to get on by noon. That's Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. We got to build this channel. I'm getting new members every time that I put these videos up. But the only way I can do that is if you guys share these videos on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all over, you know, whatever accounts you have. And hopefully your flying buddies will get onto the YouTube channel, maybe join Stunt Hanger Forum, learn from the 4,500 guys that are on there. Some of them know what they're talking about. If you got any questions, you can always message me on there. Or you can just type them in here and I'll answer the question live. I don't know everything, but I know enough to get in trouble. So, I appreciate you watching, and we shall, let's see here. Might as well end this like a pro show. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow around noon. And come on now. It's so hard to see across the room. There we go. Here's Billy and me again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.